Hey guys, this is Byron Horton with the Whitetail Experience, and today I wanted to do just a real quick, maybe 5-6 minute video on some public land hunting tips. And so I've got a video for you guys, 5 quick public land hunting tips, tactics that I think you guys can take to the woods with you. And starting out, let's go over number 1, time. And something that I think doesn't get talked about enough is the aspect of time, when it comes to public land. It's going to take time to learn a piece, and you're going to have year-over-year type experiences to kind of get that thing fine-tuned and dialed. I think it takes a little time to, I feel like, find that better piece of public land. And so that's like a huge aspect that doesn't get talked a lot on the online forums and whatnot. Moving to number 2, I feel you kill deer being a good public land hunter based on what you put in what I'll call December to March. That's when you spend a lot of time on boots to ground and do a lot of scouting. And the advantage to a lot of scouting is you can compare buck sign to buck sign from piece to piece, area to area. You can tell what areas tend to be a little hotter. And that just comes with experience and walking a lot of miles. Even year-over-year experience, you can tell one year it was a little better than the next. And the hope is that by doing all this scouting in the off season, it gives you that blueprint that you can turn around and then use during the season to hopefully get on a buck that's there in that area now. If you look at time, for example, you could scout your butt off from December to March, turn around and hunt really hard for 1 week in November and potentially make it happen if you just hunt the best doe bedding and the best pinch point funnels in an area. 3, I'd like to talk about vehicle scouting and the use of a vehicle. And yes, off-season glassing is great. But I'm talking about using your vehicle as an easy tool to scout. By driving around a piece, you're not wasting much energy or effort, but you can pick up on, our vehicles consistently parking in one area. Is one parking lot being left alone? Does another seem to be super hot? Doesn't matter. There's multiple hunters using. I talk about, in our podcast about a deer crossing the road. And when you're driving these vehicles on these pieces, before dawn or after an evening hunt, you can tell where these deer might actually be moving through the public based on seeing them in the headlights and stuff. And while shining's not legal here, I think in a state that could be a very deadly tactic to essentially help with vehicle scouting. Also looking for deer on where there's a private field meets the public, I don't know, bedding or timber or the ability to backdoor a lot of these deer. Number 4, finding better public. This kind of ties to number 1, what we talked about, but is it something that by driving 15 to 30 minutes further, you get to a piece that has a substantially more deer and maybe a better quality of deer on a regular, on a more regular basis. I don't think there's any public that's got good deer on a regular basis, but just a few more what I call shooters for what you're looking for. And it may be something that if the better piece is not obtainable during the week or even on your weekends where you're limited, do you have a really good piece to go to for your rut vacation or the 2-day hunts that you can get away from the family? That piece is definitely worth a lot. And number 5 is an aspect that really hits home to me, and it's 90% of public is junk. You're looking for, say, that 10% I feel that has good habitat, doesn't have another hunter in it, doesn't have local pressure in it, it's going to hold a good one. And that's something that I feel like when I'm walking and scouting, I need to walk until I have a reason to stop and maybe put a pin down or take a note in my GPS. So that concept of eliminating a lot is still a good thing to have. So this is just a real quick video, super fast, a couple quick tips. Appreciate you guys watching. And if you haven't turned into our podcast, be sure to check that out. Team Hard Earned Bucks, we're out.